Hello, everyone. So, a theological conundrum I've been pondering is why would God endow man with free will, being all knowing and omniscient, considering he should be able to foresee rebellion towards him? Considering that man was made in the image and likeness of God, would he not be an extension of God and his characteristics? One may argue that man is God rebelling against himself. As a result, punished man for disobeying him on multiple occasions. My friend posed the argument that anybody who may espouse these views believes God to be an extension of his rationality. Right now, one may argue it would be unjust of God to make it so that man was predetermined and had no autonomy over his experience. If man is fallen for rebelling against God, then does that reflect the nature of God? In the Old Testament, God commanded his people to commit acts that would be considered atrocious and absolutely deplorable against others. And that's why many claim that God did not create man in his own image. Man created God in his own image as a sort of ruler. Demigods, for instance, were based upon man with divine qualities. One must distinguish between the belief in God and the belief of God. You can believe God exists without necessarily placing faith in his power or lovingness towards man. The deists believe that God is present but cannot intervene with worldly affairs. We look at nature, in which I used to ponder what kind of loving and omnipotent God would make it so that animal species have to violently kill and eat each other just to sustain their own life. It seems like it came from the mind of a psychopathic tyrant. It could just be because we ponder too much about the natural world and the meaning of things. There's this prominent theme of good versus evil within many ancient scriptures, like in Zoroastrianism, most prominently. Armageddon, the fight between good and evil. Lucifer was a fallen angel. He was accepted into the kingdom of heaven. But considering heaven is supposed to be a place free of sin, where sin cannot exist, how was Lucifer able to fall from heaven? The concept of heaven itself is based upon, heaven and hell are based upon man-made sort of material structures. Like the heavens are based upon the skies. And heaven became sort of depicted as the pearly white gates, these man-made structures in the sky. So described as the ideal, which likely can't happen because the idea of a utopia differs drastically depending on who you ask. Somebody left a comment on one of my videos exclaiming that I think too much whilst knowing too little. As to where I responded, I believe anyone who claims to know anything beyond our human scope of understanding is lying to themselves. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on the matter.